What's up, folks? We are back with another matchup between two familiar faces. It's gonna be our green Protoss, spawning in the bottom left, Timbo Slice, against his red Terran opponent in the top right, Kevin Lee. Now, I do believe this is going to be a best of 5. And there are some high stakes in this match. If Timbo wins the match, Kevin will have to eat Pelicana. Pelicana famously a very awful, terrible, disgusting, bad chicken wing spot. And if Kevin were to win, then Timbo will have to say that the Mets are a good team, but not only once, he has to say it twice. Timbo is of the firm belief that the Mets are trash and that they're only doing well because they have the greatest pitcher perhaps of all time. Now, as for openings and builds, Kevin has gotten 2 gases, and he's delayed his orbital just a little bit, so he can get his factory just a little bit quicker. He has started sending his Reaper across the map, and Timbo, he has absolutely nothing just yet, so this Reaper might be able to find some damage. Stalker only about a third of the way done so far. And Timbo going for the surround, but oh, this Reaper made out of jelly does run into the rest of the probes. Gets 2 of them. And Timbo loses some mining time, so I guess that was worth it. Ideally, Kevin would have liked to keep that alive. And Timbo going for some kind of 4-gate or something. He got a forge, which I don't know what it's for. He's not researching anything. He's not making any cannons. He's also going for a robotics facility. And there's a reason 4-gate is considered a cheesy kind of rush build, because that's pretty much the most you can sustain on one base. So the fact that he's going for an upgrade now as well as a robotics facility, he can't really sustain that on one base. Of course, Timbo not one to really spend his money, so it might work out for him. Kevin, as usual, going for his air, getting 2 starports, 2 banshees on the way, as well as cloak. But Timbo, perhaps aware that this is the likely build out of Kevin, is getting a observer. Unfortunately, he is sending that across the map at the moment, so he won't have anything at home just yet. He is getting a second observer. That should be out in time. But he is going to need more anti-air. Only 1 stalker currently, and that's not going to be enough. Timbo, warp in some more stalkers as we see him floating 600 minerals. Oh my goodness, Timbo, you got to spend your money. I don't know what else to say. 2 banshees about to make their way into Timbo's main. And Where's that second observer? Don't know. But the Banshees have arrived, and Timbo just spent a warp in across the map. So he's not going to have much at home anytime soon. Banshee's going to start working away at the Nexus. That's going to take a while. I would have preferred to see it go for, like, pylons. But now another observer has popped out. So these stalkers should be able to repel the Banshees. And this force of units, I don't know what they're doing. They've just been chilling. I don't think they'll be able to get much damage done with all these tanks. But he does get the Banshees, at least one of them. Second one very low. So that's nice. However, Timbo, you cannot stand here against these tanks. He loses like, what was that, 4 or 5 stalkers to get 1 tank, 3 stalkers, and 1 zealot. And Kevin, he is transitioning into battle cruisers. Timbo trying to force the issue here. Tank's just way too solid on the defense. Another one pops out as well. Kevin not even morphing this command center into an orbital. And Timbo still stuck on 1 base. No expansion still. He's going for a Twilight Council. Battlecruiser warps in across the map into Timbo's mineral line. Few stalkers here to defend. They're not going to be able to do it. And now this battlecruiser going to have free reign until these 2 additional stalkers warp in. Now this battlecruiser going to get out of there. 7 kills to its name, and escapes with its life. And Timbo really desperately needs a base, but he's just gonna GG out, so Kevin takes the lead 1-0. Alright, welcome back. We are loaded into game number 2 between these 2 players. It's gonna be, once again, the green Protoss, Timbo Slice. And the red Terran, Kevin Lee. Kevin, last game, doing his usual thing, rushing air. And Timbo, once again, unprepared. He seemed like he was actually making an attempt to prepare for air. He was getting a robotics facility, getting observers. He had enough gateways to warp in stalkers, but in Timbo fashion, he wasn't spending his money. And then when the time came, he warped in across the map. Ended up losing a lot to the Banshees. And then even more to the battlecruiser. Second game though. Kevin's going for some cheeky shenanigans. Barracks going down across the map. at Timbo's potential third location. Timbo gonna be opening Forge first on the low ground, implying that he wants to expand relatively quickly. And looks like Kevin's sending another SCV to make another barracks, which is very late. Now he has two SCVs here. Reactor going down on this barracks. That's kind of odd. Not really sure what the motivation is behind that. Reactors take a very long time to build, and is it really worth it to get, well, I'm assuming Reapers 2 at a time? I definitely think this second barracks should have gone down a little bit quicker, and then you can just make 2 Reapers at a time that way. But indeed, we see 2 Reapers. But making that reactor, it has delayed this pretty substantially. And now Timbo is getting an early stalker this game. So that's going to be a massive help. But Kevin, he is fully committing to this. He's getting another reactor on that second barracks, and he's getting a third barracks as well back at home. He has walled up with supply depots, but I don't think that will really come into play. It's all going to be about this and whether or not it can find damage. We do have a cannon in the mineral line as well as a stalker, and that's going to be very helpful for Reapers already. They're going to jump in. They're going to start chipping away at some pros. They get hit by the cannon and they can't really fight this. Timbo, I don't think you should be using your probes. You're going to be losing more by doing this. And, okay, he gets all the Reapers, but that was so much mining time. Does lose 2 probes. I don't know if that was entirely worth it. Trying to warp in on this slow pylon. And now 4 more Reapers come in, and they might prove to be a problem. Timbo with 2 gateways only. I need to warp in some more stalkers. Hello? Hello? Warp in. 2 stalkers currently. And more Reapers jumping in. This is spiraling out of control. Are we going to see Reapers take down a Nexus? Oh my god, this might be a first in StarCraft history. Not gonna happen, at least not yet. Probes and Stalkers fighting the Reapers. And they are gonna get a cleanup. We do have a barracks floated into Timbo's base. It made 1 Marine who died very quickly. And now these 3 Stalkers, 2 more in the back here. I think we can safely call this a hold at this point. Unfortunately, we are not going to see Reapers take out a Nexus. And this 1 Stalker getting very ambitious. Timbo gonna run outside and greet these Reapers. Not gonna be able to chase them with their jetpacks, but Timbo should be able to take out most, if not all, of these barracks. And now Kevin back at home. He did get his 2nd command center, which is nice. He's going for a 3rd command center and a factory back at home. And Timbo, actually, if he were to just skip these barracks, just go all the way across the map, it would be very difficult for Kevin to defend. But Timbo, of course, doesn't know what we know. Opts for the guaranteed damage onto the barracks. And that's gonna allow Kevin to live and transition, perhaps, into a later game. Kevin floating a lot of money, so he's throwing down 2 additional factories. Tech Lab on his first factory, gonna start a siege tank there. This barracks tried to make it home, but could not, and it falls. So Timbo in an excellent spot right now, sitting on 40 workers currently. He is going up to 5 gateways, blink on the way, +1 attack on the way, and Timbo, it's his game to lose right now. He is firmly in the lead. However, Kevin, recognizing that he's behind, went for the 3rd command center, and this could propel him back into the game. He should morph these into orbitals. The triple mules would be massive. But Kevin looks like he wants to slow this game down, getting siege tanks, gonna turtle up. Gonna get an armory as well. That's probably just gonna be for upgrades, I'm assuming. So he doesn't really have Widow Mines or Hellions or anything like that. These 2 Reapers, I'm gonna see what they can find. Timbo warping in some stalkers from this proxy pylon. Look at how slow this warp in is. Pylons by themselves produce very slow warp ins. Those 2 Reapers did nothing aside from a little bit of a scout, I suppose. And Timbo now going up to, how many gateways is that? 10 gateways? That's a lot of gateways. Blink is done. +1 attack is done. Kevin drops his scan, doesn't see a whole lot because it's all over here. And Timbo, I don't know what he's waiting for. The longer he waits, the more tanks Kevin's gonna have. And honestly, this is too many tanks. Timbo, you cannot fight this. This is way too many tanks. But Timbo's gonna blink in anyways. 2 of those tanks were unsieged, so that's gonna be a slight help. But look at that carnage. You cannot fight that many tanks. So Kevin, with his super turtly mech, has taken the lead with the help of Timbo's awful engagement. Still behind in workers is the Terran player. However, he has triple mules, so I would put them pretty even right about now. So we do see a plummet in Timbo's advantage. But he is still leading in the economy. Not really sure why. I guess there are no mules currently. Lots of energy on all these orbitals. And Kevin is fully going mech. Getting Thors as well. And look at these big robot guys. They're pretty cool, huh? Upgrades. Timbo with 1-1. Kevin getting his +1 currently. And Timbo getting a little fancy, going for disruptors. Not really sure if that's the right play. Disruptors kind of difficult to use, especially in the hands of not a Protoss player. But Timbo sitting on 3 bases, fully saturated, getting his 4th as well. And he should move in, try to deny this 4th of Kevin's. He does spot it with this observer. Not sure why he doesn't go in to try to deny that. Instead, he's moving his stalkers up. Gonna perhaps go for this base, which is also pretty vulnerable. And looks like that is what he's gonna do. He walks in with his stalkers. Gonna blink in very oddly there. But he should be able to, actually maybe not. Yeah, that was a weird move there. He walked way up into the minerals and then he blinked here, and then of course spent his blink and he wasn't able to escape. These tanks were able to shell away. He could have and should have just shot from over here, and I think he would have gotten it. And then if Kevin were to move up with his forces, he can always blink away. So another poor engagement out of Timbo, and now Kevin is firmly back in this game. He has his 4th up. He's got a very scary army, and I don't think what Timbo's getting is the right composition. Of course, he probably doesn't know this. He's not a Protoss player once again. Hold that thought. He is going to blink in, take out this 4th. And that's going to be a nice little victory there. Could have gotten that SCV. Does get the SCV. Could even get this refinery, but I guess not. But going back to the compositions, it's going to be very difficult for Timbo to really fight tanks and Thors with a primarily gateway army. Colossus not going to be very helpful either, as they are outranged by tanks. The answer, in my opinion, would be Stargates. Go for carriers. However, we do not see that, and Timbo forgetting, or perhaps not even knowing, about extended thermal lance, which is the range upgrade on the Colossus. So these Colossus going to be essentially useless. Now this building, however, could be very impactful. Dark Shrine, of course, giving him access to Dark Templars, could be very good. Kevin does have a single missile turret, but none here, none here. So TTs could be good. Kevin drops a bunch of scans, and he does spot that Dark Shrine, so he should be aware of that. And Timbo, oh my goodness, floating a ton of money once again. And he's only on 140 supply. You gotta spend your money, Timbo. What are you saving for? He's throwing down more gateways, which is great and all, but you gotta use them. You gotta warp stuff in. Timbo is establishing his 5th now, but we still don't see any more advanced technology. There we go, finally we see a warp in, and that's a lot of Dark Templars. That's a huge investment. We'll see if it pays off, but the moment Kevin sees or hears the slash, he can drop a scan and all these Dark Templars will evaporate. Kevin's moving out with his massive squad of Thors. No siege tanks with this army, which is nice. And look at those purification novas of the disruptors, and that was a weird move command out of Timbo, losing a lot of his units there, but these Dark Templars going to town on the Thors, and for forget what I said earlier because that scan was super duper late. And he has so much energy on all these command centers. Definitely a massive mistake out of our Terran player. His supplies dropped to 104. Timbo sitting at 140. Still not fully utilizing his minerals, but in he goes into Kevin's fourth base. And Dark Templars try to go up the ramp. Scan goes down, gonna deny that now. And Timbo does not have blink on the DTs, but he does have them on the stalkers, so they're gonna blink past the wall, take out the missile turrets. Gonna lose all the stalkers almost. Down they all go. Nothing left but Dark Templar. Scan goes down. Gonna be enough to pretty much kill all the Dark Templars, and now Timbo down to 80 supply. Does make a whole lot of High Templars. Gonna be morphing those into Archons. 8 Archons. Gonna need a little bit more to that. 6.5k minerals. Need to spend that on something. Timbo, please. This should be Timbo's game, but the supplies are so even right now. And Timbo still not producing anything. Kevin trying to reestablish his fourth. He still has a lot of tanks. Remaking his Thor army. Kevin sitting on +3, +2 for his mech. And that's pretty good. Not seeing +3 starting for some reason. Main of Kevin is completely mined out. So he's going to be lifting that off to land, I guess here. Yeah. Just going to try to take that base. And Timbo going for some DT drops. This is very annoying. Gonna get one. Gonna get 2 tanks. So that's nice out of Timbo there. 9k minerals. Jeez Louise. And he is just massing Archons and Zealots. Zealot Archon, a very powerful unit composition and very simple. You kind of just group everything up and A move. Zealots with their charge, rushing to the front, and then Archons just blasting away. Another huge warp into the main from Timbo. Bunch of Zealots this time, going to take out some more of the tanks, and now they're going to go to work on some of the production of Kevin. Not really sure what to do with these Zealots, perhaps. They're gonna, well, they're gonna die. They try to follow that warp prism, but now these 4 additional Zealots dropped into the third. Gonna go to town in that mineral line. Kevin pulling some SCVs away. And that's good damage. Timbo has so many minerals. This is practically free. And now Timbo does start that DT blink upgrade. He is also getting his +3, I think that is, as well as shields. And Timbo, he is just expanding all over the place, taking this space. I think that's a 6, taking this, that would be 7. And he's got a ginormous army of Zealots and Archons and a single High Templar. This poor High Templar did not have a mate to combine with to turn into an Archon. Timbo sharking about. looking for an opening. And Kevin doesn't really have too many tanks anymore. So Zealots could be very good against this. But I don't think he had quite enough Zealots, unfortunately. Zealots are the meat shield of this composition, so losing his entire army there, down to 94 supply, and still not spending his army. He just lost 100 supply and he's not spending his money. Timbo! Oh my goodness. Is he gonna just lose to this counterattack now? Does warp in some Zealots and High Templars finally, but oh my god, 9k minerals, 2k gas, and Kevin has shown up with a bunch of Thors. And Timbo, spend your money please, Timbo. Oh my god, he's just trying to engage this with a few Stalkers and High Templars. Storm goes down. Storm's not going to do too much against Thors, and all these warp gates not being used. Oh my god, is it gonna end like this? Kevin dropping some mules. I don't know if those are manor mules or just for the repair. Oh my god, is Timbo gonna lose with 10k minerals in the bank? I can't believe this. Storm's going down. That's nice, but Thors have so much HP that it doesn't really... If it can't kill them, he can just repair them up. And Timbo, you have so many gateways. Timbo, please. Timbo, please. Timbo, please. Lost 24 probes to that, down to 37 right now. And is there a way to check what's the cooldown on his warp gates? Because he has so many. I don't believe they're all on cooldown. And you should be making more gateways. Kevin continuing the charge. Timbo's gonna go in. And look how little the storms do, but oh, the Dark Templars scan late once again, and the Dark Templar's gonna shred up the Thors. So Timbo does finally get a cleanup there, but he's down to 57 supply and still not spending his money. Timbo, oh my god, make some more gateways. Make like 10 gateways. Oh my god, I can't believe this. And Kevin back at home, he's chilling. He's got a lot of bases. He's getting this base. He's got more Thors. And I don't know what's gonna happen. Timbo could just warp in like 60 Zealots, and I think that would be enough, but he's not doing that. And now Timbo getting Colossus once again. Colossus pretty useless. And he still doesn't have Thermal Lance. Timbo, you can't say that you don't know about the Thermal Lance upgrade, because I've told you about it. Now Timbo posturing up for another attack. A lot of Zealots, some DTs in the mix. Gonna find this freshly landed base, but he's not gonna be able to get it because Terran buildings can just lift off. Terrain OP. And now Timbo gonna be warping in some more Zealots, still with a huge amount of minerals in the bank. And why don't you just make some more gateways, Timbo? Timbo, please. So it's down another Nexus, trying to get this high yield Vespine gas base. But Kevin's moving out once again with a big squadron of Thors, 14 Thors. He does have 15, but this one doesn't count. And he's just gonna walk in to, what is this, the third or fourth base? Colossus. Gonna try to join the fight, and now look at these short-range Colossus. Terrible. They're so bad. Kevin's gonna land a bunch of mules. Go for the repair, and I can't believe this. Kevin's gonna win this game. GG gets called. Alright, welcome back. This is game number 3, and that was such a frustrating game to watch. It was Timbo's for pretty much 95% of the game, and then he just threw it away. So, our Terran player in the red, Kevin Lee, is up 2-0. And if he wins another, Timbo will have to admit that the Mets are a good team. And he'll have to do it twice. Timbo gonna open again with a forge first on the low ground. Kevin gonna similarly throw down his barracks on the low ground as well. Double gas coming out of Kevin, so I think most likely we'll see a quick factory, quick starport, and probably Banshees once again. Let's not forget, Kevin went for a very committed 3 barracks reactor Reaper rush in the last game, which did not do much, and honestly, it should have been over at that point. But he smartly turtled up, got a bunch of tanks, stretched out the game, playing a very frustrating mech style. And that allowed him to seize the victory in the end. Kevin getting his first Reaper factory indeed went down. Timbo getting his fast Nexus. Cybernetics Core just finishing up. Gonna start the Stalker right away. And Cannon going down right next to the Nexus to defend those probes, but the Reaper might be able to find a sweet spot towards the back of the mineral lines here. If he just stands around here, shoots the probes. But Reaper gonna run into that pylon, the cannon, and then the Stalker. Is it stuck? Is the Stalker stuck? I think it is. Timbo saying this is some bullshit. but come on, why? What is this wall though? Like, why is the cybernetics core here? You only have yourself to blame, Timbo. This is a very weird positioning. I don't understand. Why not just make it like right there or something? In any case, Kevin, he has gotten his starport. He is getting a fusion core, and Timbo gonna be getting a Stargate. Ooh, now this is new out of Timbo. 2 Stargates, and hopefully for him, it's gonna be Void Rays. The Reaper is gonna be able to find an angle. Gonna be able to get 1 probe. Gonna be able to get... Not gonna be able to get 2 probes. Wow, okay. But, more importantly, Kevin gets the scout on these Stargates. And first Void Ray on the way. Kevin undeterred. He's still going battle cruisers, getting Yamato cannon behind it as well. Now, Void Rays do counter battle cruisers. They do bonus damage versus massive, I want to say. Or maybe just armored. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I do know, however, that they do counter battle cruisers. 2 Void Rays gonna absolutely definitely be more than enough to repel, if not kill, a Void Ray. And Kevin did scout this, so I wonder if he's gonna warp in anyways. Let's take a look, and it does warp in right there behind the minerals, and Timbo very slow to react. Hello, gonna lose a bunch of probes, but these Void Rays do show up finally, not activating his prismatic alignment, which does bonus damage. Hello, you gotta activate that. That would help kill this Void Ray so much quicker, but in the end, he gets it, loses 1 Void Ray for his troubles, and I don't know if, does Timbo know about that ability? Prismatic alignment, it gives your Void Rays that thick beam, allows them to do bonus damage versus armored, I want to say. Now, Timbo with the fleet beacon, going to be researching that flux veins. Second battle cruiser jumps in, gonna try to get some more probes. Yamato's down that Void Ray very quickly. Now Timbo only has 1. 2 more about to pop, and there they are. 3 Void Rays should be more than enough to kill this battle cruiser, but activate. Nice, as we see that thick beam, and look how quickly it just toasts that battle cruiser. Nicely done there from Timbo this time around, activating that beam. But still loses a good amount of probes for his troubles. 12 have gone down so far this game. But this has been a heavy gas investment for our turn player. You see Timbo has lost more minerals, but Kevin has lost more gas, and gas is the more valuable resource. Timbo gonna be getting his 3rd base. I wouldn't mind seeing like a cannon or 2 in the mineral lines, and in this one as well. It does have 1 here, which is nice. Now his flux veins has completed, so these Void Rays gonna be very speedy. Kevin still going for battlecruisers. In fact, he is doubling down and tripling down on battlecruiser tech. But mass battlecruisers against mass void rays, pretty sure the void rays win. Not 100% sure because Yamato does cloud things up a bit. 2 Yamato cannons will take down just about anything in the game, any unit that is, aside from probably Ultralisk, I want to say. How do I look up how much damage that does? I don't think I can from this interface, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Now Timbo doing exactly what I said before, getting some cannons to protect his mineral lines. And he is continuing to get a Sky Toss army. Now transitioning to Tempest. Tempest, perhaps even better than Void Rays against battlecruisers, as they can shoot very far, and they do bonus damage versus massive air units. Timbo also getting his air upgrades. He does have 1-1 currently. Scan going down in Timbo's main. Gonna spot this golden armada of the Protoss. So Kevin, I wonder if he's gonna rethink his composition. I mean, he's pretty committed at this point. 6 battlecruisers. I don't think he can really tech switch. So we are gonna see an air battle. And that's gonna be pretty interesting. Timbo going for his 4th now. Likewise, Kevin has landed his. In terms of upgrades, both players on 1-1. Timbo getting +1 ground as well, not sure why. He doesn't have any ground units aside from this one stalker that is stuck. Poor thing has been stuck there since like 3-minute mark. And it doesn't look like Timbo wants to go ground either, so I'm not sure why he continues to upgrade his ground units. I do think it's kind of a waste. He should instead get shields, perhaps, or maybe a 2nd cybernetics core to get double air upgrades. But he is fully committing to the Sky Toss composition, now going for carriers as well, getting a smattering of everything just about, minus the Phoenixes. Phoenixes would be pretty useless. And Kevin going for his 5th and 6th base as well. Of course, battle cruisers cost a lot of money, so Kevin definitely needs these bases. And Timbo, I think he could benefit from another Stargate or 2, as we see his minerals and gas getting rather high once again. Can't really spend them fast enough out of 3 Stargates. Kevin similarly on 3 starports has 2 battlecruisers queued up at each starport, so he could benefit from a couple more starports as well, especially now that he's getting 5th and 6th bases. Now Timbo, this is why he was getting ground upgrades. He's going to warp in some stalkers to do some zealots, rather, to do some harass, and in they go. They're gonna shred up this mineral line very quickly, and Kevin gonna jump into Timbo's main base. Absolute carnage going down. We see Yamato's going down. Void Rays not activating their prismatic alignment. Oh no, that could have been huge, and I'm not really sure who's winning this fight. I think the Tempests are gonna eke this out in the end. Look how quickly they beam down the battle cruisers. Only 4 remaining. 3 battle cruisers versus 2 carriers and 4 Tempests. Massive casualties from both sides, but the Protoss gonna win out in the end with 4 Tempests and 1 carrier. Another carrier pops out, a little late to the party. And amidst all that, these Zealots did take out that base. Now they're gonna die to the battle cruisers, I suppose. 1 mule gonna expire. That was the world's saddest mule. And Timbo continuing to get Tempest, and well, that's it actually for now. Floating a lot of money once again, getting 2 more Stargates. Need to start producing some more stuff, Timbo. But he is focused on the counterattack. Some more Zealots warped in, gonna shred up another mineral line. They might even get this base. No, they will not. Kevin's gonna pick that up. Zealots gonna take out this base here. This one refinery might burn down. And well, not gonna go look for these other bases. I'm not sure if he's even aware of them. Well, he just spotted that, so he should have an idea. And now he is making his way downtown. Faces past, walking fast, and shredding up the Terran base. Gonna get a bunch more SCVs, gonna force another liftoff. And gonna back away once the battle cruisers show up. And I would like to see Timbo warp in from here now that he's pulled Kevin's attention to this side. Now he's going for this base, just being super annoying with a handful of Zealots. These units are practically free. Timbo, a very rich man right now. And well, he's not making more air stuff, but he does have a good amount of air stuff already. Zealots gonna make their way around and go for another mineral line here, getting yet another handful of SCVs before the battle cruisers finally will clean them up. And what is the unit count right now? 10 BCs against 7 Tempests and 7 carriers. So the Protoss army definitely looking much scarier. Scan goes down. Gonna spot the entire air fleet of Timbo. And Kevin cannot be too happy with that. These battle cruisers not high enough in numbers. The upgrades pretty close. We got 3-2 for our Terran, 3-1 for our Protoss. More Zealots come in, they take out the orbital, no liftoff there. Another orbital gets started right away before the Zealots are even dead. That SCV died while making the command center, so now it is just stalled at, what is that, 1%, 2%? Bunch of mules just met their demise, time ran out, and it looks like Timbo might want to get some damage done. Gonna fly in with some of his air units, and Kevin gonna do the same thing, like ships in the night. Kevin's gonna find this proxy, so that's gonna alert Timbo to Kevin's location. He don't care. Timbo's gonna go for the fight. Kevin's gonna warp in, and we're gonna see another massive air skirmish right now. Not sure what's happening, who's winning. I would imagine it's the Protoss because Tempests are pretty good against battlecruisers, but I'm not really sure. And I think the battlecruisers is actually auto-attacking the interceptors, which is very not good if your name is Kevin Lee. Now he does finally target the individual Tempests and carriers, so gonna be able to get some of those. Timbo actually running low on interceptors for the time being, but he should still finally clean this up. But hold on, wait a minute. 4 more battlecruisers warp in, and some more Yamatos going down. And hold on, we might be seeing the battlecruisers win this out. Looks like indeed they do. Battlecruiser's pretty good, but Timbo still has more carriers at home. I think he needs to make some more Tempests, actually. Getting another 4 Stargates. Oh no, this probe gets stuck. Oh no. I think he needs some more Tempests. Perhaps Void Rays as well. But carriers, not an awful choice either. Timbo needs to get his +3 armor, and he needs to get his shields upgrade as well. Another 2 Stargates queued up. Who is making that? I think maybe this probe? Not sure what probe is trying to do that, but a lot of carriers, and I think Timbo, he should have recalled his carriers before. Maybe he doesn't know how. Maybe he forgot about it, but he could have saved a good few of those. Imagine if he had another 3 or 4 carriers with this, he could go attack now and get some more damage done. But we see 6 more Stargates on the way. I mean, you're rich, Timbo, but you're not that rich. Now Timbo's gonna... Kevin's gonna warp in his battlecruisers right on top of the Stargates. Timbo, with his slow carriers, gonna fly back, try to defend this. A lot of Yamato cannons going down. I'm not really sure what's happening. Judging by the supply, I would imagine the Protoss is winning. And it looks like, yes, indeed, the Protoss is winning. Only 4 battlecruisers left, now 3. Now 2. Now 1. And now 0. And that's gotta be game, right? I mean, Kevin's down to 86 supply. He does not have a lot of money left. Timbo, still rich. He's got a lot of Stargates. Can't even use all of them. Can he? But he is moving out with a lot of carriers. He's even getting this high yield gas base. And this is going to be the final push. Kevin absolutely cannot hold this. We see Just a billion interceptors. Just destroy the Terran base. Each interceptor with +3, I think it does like 11 or something damage. And each carrier has 8 interceptors. So that's 88 damage every second, practically. I don't know the exact numbers or exact timings, but it is a lot of damage, very fast, and all these battlecruisers gonna just melt away. And GG's gonna be coming any second now. The Terran with nothing left, forced to tap out. And Timbo gonna keep his dreams alive and put himself on the board. Welcome back, welcome back! This is game number 4 between these two players. The green Protoss, Timbo Slice, attacking his own Nexus there. Not sure what that was about. That probe doing a bit of a protest there. And our red Terran, currently up 2 games, but did fall from that last one. Kevin Lee. And we do see 2 SCVs going across the map. This is most likely going to be for some proxy 2-Rax Reaper shenanigans. Timbo going to be opening on the low ground once again with a forge. Does send a probe scout. And ooh, gonna get a little cheeky himself, throwing down a pylon on the low ground. Now, cheeky meets cheeky. Who's gonna out-cheeky the other? Well, Timbo's gonna need something at home to defend against Marines or Reapers or whatever. But he's getting some cannons in Kevin's natural expansion. 1 cannon only, rather. Kevin forced to pull a lot of SCVs, but he is gonna most likely get it. And oh, no cancel there out of Timbo. That's rough. And oh, another no cancel. Very sloppy out of Timbo. And is he gonna cancel this one? Again, no cancel. That was about as bad as a cannon rush can go. Now, Kevin has 2 Marines already. Timbo has nothing back at home. He needs a cannon here ASAP. But a little too focused. Spent a little too much money here. And these Marines might be able to end the game and the series. Timbo throwing down his Nexus, still no units, still no cannon, and Kevin, he could just run in right now and seal the deal. Still no cannon, going for a cybernetics core instead, but we see 6 Marines walking in now, no units out of Timbo, and we're gonna see a GG, aren't we? Guns down the pylon. And they're just gonna walk into the main. GG gets called. And that suck gets called. And Kevin's gonna take the series.